Willie's Life. I wanted to talk to you guys about the carnivore diet. The carnivore diet, I follow a bunch of different people online, but a guy that I've talked to online that's extremely cool. He's written books and he's a super smart dude, but it's Dr. Sean Baker. He's I kind of feel like he saved my life, you know, because I watched a Joe Rogan episode with him in it. My chiropractor is the one that told me about it originally. And so basically, I was overweight. I had type 2 diabetes. I had kidney disease. And it all kind of happened to me because I had been in an accident. So I was in an accident, herniated my neck, and I had a brain shake. And so I had dizziness. I had broke and herniated my neck and herniated my thoracic. And then I ended up, I got I had all this stuff go wrong all at once. You know, stenosis happened to me, which is the narrowing of the around the nerve channels. I had some other stuff going on where bone grindings and inflammation and all that stuff. And so, but the thing that scared me, I think the worst, was the idea that I couldn't get rid of my dizziness and I couldn't get rid of the diabetes. I went on their the American Diabetic Association thing and followed their diet. It wasn't working. And so the chiropractor told me, because I was scared, I was like, man, I don't want to have to give myself shots. I don't have to go down that path, you know. And it was my fault. I was eating crap, you know, garbage and drinking down tons of energy drinks and Mountain Dew and everything. And so anyway, I ended up getting type 2 diabetes, and my blood sugar was sitting at like 220 and stuff like that a lot. And I didn't feel good ever. And I was doing a lot of heavy lifting and I didn't do any cardio. And then with these injuries, I started on taking a ton of ibuprofen and acetaminophen, but a ton of ibuprofen for over a year caused me kidney disease. And so I ended up going down this really, I was spiraling and not doing good. So then I found out about the carnivore diet, and I went after watching, I think it was like 3 hours worth of, videos with Dr. Sean Baker and Joe Rogan. And I ended up, I followed it for 5 weeks. And in that time, I had heard about keto. So I went down a keto diet instead after 5 weeks. But within 5 weeks, I cut 25 pounds. My blood sugars within 1 week were normalized. I had no issues with my blood sugar after that. And I would like to say too that they're having people with type 1 diabetes, and that's the one where people take shots, you know, and for insulin. And so they're having people, if you get on meatrx.com, last I knew, and so people that have to give themselves shots are not having to give themselves shots anymore. They're just eating this diet, and their bodies are giving themselves insulin. You know, it's coming back instead of being dormant, you know. And so they all this stuff had more or less just it's just like it's an amazing thing, you know. It's healing people up. I got my kidney disease was still there after 5 weeks, obviously, but I ended up getting blood work done around that time, and that's when, you know, they had talked to me. You know, so a doctor, he was like some kind of marathoner or something, and he was a vegetarian, and he told me I had to go on a vegetarian diet, or I was gonna, you know, be on kidney dialysis soon. He said my kidneys I had advancing stages. It was going quick, and I was like, end stage of stage one, it scared me, so I got a hold of Sean Baker, and I was like, hey man, so this dude's saying this, and he told me, he's wrong, just do it, and you'll, essentially you'll see for yourself with blood work, and so sure enough, within that month, I had blood work done, and my obviously at that time, because it takes 3 months for it to get off of your, to where your A1C shows up good. So, but I got I got it done, and it was better than the month prior. And then I went down this different path with keto, but I do want to say that carnivore is, it's an incredible diet program. You can eat as much meat as you want, and some people eat eggs with it. I don't think everybody does. I did. I love eggs. I love to like fry them and put them on hamburgers, and I also put butter than the egg, and then but I like to do that with that. And then I also had, I put Himalayan salt on mine, and man, I still, this is the 4th year now I've been doing this with the same meat. I love red meat, so, and I eat bacon with mine now, and a little bit of cheese. I use half a slice of cheese on my hamburger and bacon. And a lot of people were saying bacon's not good for you, and I was on a keto diet, like I said, for 2.5 years straight, and I had been having blood tests every 3 months because I wanted to know where I was standing with my kidney disease. And so I think it was a year later on keto, I asked, and I hadn't taken any ibuprofen either. And so, but during that time, I was eating a pretty strict keto diet, and I was having mostly meat and eggs, and then a tiny bit of cheese, and enough salt, and I was eating a good amount of butter. It was like probably about 1.5 to 2 inches worth of butter to cook my food and to eat it. And I had really high blood pressure beforehand. It was just way out of whack. My blood pressure was sitting anywhere from 170 to 210, and over anywhere from 105 to 145. And sometimes I didn't even know if I was gonna wake up. It was that bad. And so anyway, within that whole 5 weeks that I was on the carnivore diet, I dropped 25 pounds, and my headaches went away. My vision did get better. My sinuses cleared up. I always have some kind of sinus thing going on because of all the grass and things like that. But so anyway, my chest pains went away. My high blood pressure disappeared for the first time in, I don't even know how many years it was. My blood pressure was normal, and mind you, I wasn't drinking anything, to raise it up either. I had no caffeine. I wasn't taking any caffeine, and I admit that was tough for me to do. Was to because the carnivore diet would just make you stay awake. You just were awake. And you didn't have any ups and downs or low, super high sugar, like, where you drink an energy drink, you're like, yeah, and then you crash, So the carnivore diet, you felt normal pretty much all day, while you're eating that. You have a little bit of this and that, but just slow, just a little bit. I felt really, really good on it, and I didn't have any kind of kidney pain anymore. I wasn't gasping for air sometimes, just like randomly, like, oh, did I forget to breathe or something? All these stupid things were put in check right away. And then within, like I said, I switched over to keto, and I was eating blueberries, um, and cranberries, and I did basically, like I said, I was very strict about it. I only ate low glycemic index fruits with it, and I found out that my body doesn't like seeds, like small seeds with like blackberry seeds and stuff. I'll eat it once in a while, or strawberries, but if I eat too much of it at one time, I'll have an issue, stomach pain, and so on. But otherwise, cranberries and blueberries don't give me any issues at all. But I feel like keto is where I feel good at. So I still eat a lot of meat, and I still eat a lot of eggs, and I'm eating, like, I eat a lot of different spices on my foods and stuff like that. Like I'll have cayenne, and I eat ginger with my shakes and stuff like that. And then I do, um, uh, my shakes are all, um, like there's a big mixture of them, and it's a vegan one that I was eating once a day, and I would just throw a bunch of my food in it, mixture in it. And then my wife would make omelets, which she'd throw like spinach and stuff in there, like a little bit of spinach and onions and garlic and things like that. And um, I've had my blood work done. I had it done for like 2 years, man, like almost every 3 months. It was just like, in fact, it was every 3 months for almost 2 years. It was like a year and a half. I think is how long I actually got it done for, a year and 3/4 or something. And then I quit getting my blood done just because it's the same results all the time, and I felt really good on it. One of the nurses told me that, she's like, I don't know exactly what you're doing, but keep up the good work. She's like, and I'm in my 40s, and she's like, your blood work is really good. It's like you're a healthy 20-year-old is what she said. So I was like, cool, like that made me feel happy. So I don't know what I'm looking at on blood charts or anything like that, and I don't have any of that. I never went and got copies of it or anything, but I still, once in a while, like 3 or 4 months ago, I went carnivore, strict carnivore for 30 days, just to cut some pounds off, and I ended up cutting 16 pounds, and I got really, really lean. I felt really like I wanted to cut weight, so just so I could look a little bit better, and so I trimmed up, and then I got back off of carnivore, went back to keto, and then I got off keto, and I was just kind of eating crappy foods again, things I'm not supposed to, and so I'm overweight again, and so I'm getting back on keto again, and one of the best things that I ever found was doing a shake, and then I would blend up like a piece of dark chocolate in there in my um, shake, and it would give that it kind of give me what I needed for cravings and stuff like that. Because every once in a while, like people bring a ton of really good donuts to work, and I'm like, oh my god, that one looks good. It's got like freaking pudding in it, and so I'd want to eat it, but and so that kept me clean from, like, on a clean keto for a long time. I didn't break that. I didn't screw up for like 2.5 years. I didn't eat anything outside of what my strict diet was. And then I got off keto, and I went and did, I kind of just ate whatever for a while, and I ballooned back up to 242 from 230. Actually, it was 225, and I went to 242, and so I'd gained like 17 pounds, and So, but then I started a HIIT program, which, it's a high intensity interval training, so it's up and down. Like, you train really hard for a minute, then rest for a minute, and really hard for a minute and rest for a minute. I did some variations, of course, but anyway, I got trimmed up. I was sitting at 230 for a long time, give or take a couple pounds. And after I got back on it, of course, and then, my keto, and then did that. And then I ended up losing a family member, and I got off keto for like a year and a half. And I was in a slump, kind of a depression, and I wasn't doing what I was supposed to. I wasn't working out like I was supposed to. And right before my family member died, I ended up I lost a really good friend of mine, and then I lost another friend, and then I ended up losing a family member, and all within a very short time. And so it crashed me, and then so I ended up once my head got straight again, I got back on the diet, and within like I think 50 days I was trim again. I dropped the excess sloppy weight down, and got back to my 230 weight, and I was just doing calisthenics because I had injured my back. Like literally, it was like right after my good friend died. I was angry, and I was doing my deadlifts and stuff, and I was pulling up on my fulcrum lift. I had almost 1,200 pounds, and the boards broke on me and jarred my back. So I was like, well, I think I'm going to give it a rest for a while, and then I went and arm wrestled and hurt my shoulder arm wrestling, and so I backed off for a little bit and was just kind of pumping my body up with calisthenics and just left weights alone. And I've done workout videos with weights and stuff. I did a whole month's program with some weights, and in hopes that I could go back to strongman training, and I can't. My back is just saying no. So it is what it is. I'm not going to let things keep me down. I mean, it's part of life. Things come up and kick you when you're down, or kick you to the ground, and then you got to go from there. But I do want to say that get out there and try these diets. Some people, I think people can do really well on a carnivore diet. Some people do excellent on it. Some people can do it for a short time and then they get off of it. The good thing about carnivore too is like you can eat a lot of meat on it. Keto, you also eat a lot of meat, but you also get to, like you can have a little bit of chocolate, you can have a little bit of fruit and vegetables and stuff like that, and you can still eat those. So you get that that, like if you're craving something, you can eat it, you know what I mean? So as long as that percentage is, you're not going over 50 grams of sugar or carbs, in the day. So it's easy to go past it, if you're typical, like your typical American standard diet guy, you can easily jump past it. But if you stay strict with it, keto for 30 days, or carnivore for 30 days, your head will get clear, your blood sugars will get better, your kidney disease, if you have it, will like minimize. You'll get excess water weight, you'll get excess weight off of you, weird pains that you've had, dizziness, whatever, anger issues, all kinds of stuff, man, I've read about. It'll like alleviate so much stuff. Like I'm a huge fan of those things. I have friends that are doing all kinds of different diets, and I've read about people doing ketovore too, which is ketovore, if I remember correctly, is like 15 to 25 or so grams of sugar and carbs. And so it's half of what a keto is. So ketovore is between them, obviously. So ketovore, are those people that are a little bit more strict about it. So you could look it up, test it out, and see. Like, one of the things that I know, some people can just jump right into a carnivore and they just run with it, and they do really well. Some people are like, I think I'll be right on the outside of keto, and then they slowly get into keto, and then they do keto. But there's literally hundreds of different meals that you can do with keto, and that's why I love keto so much more. And so honestly, keto is just my thing. Some people love them, but some people, like, I've talked to plenty of people that they told me they can't do keto or carnivore due to their having gallbladder issues. But I've asked some people about that too, and they said to just start out with bacon, ease into it like that, a little bit more until your body gets used to that and it heals up. Your gallbladder will heal up eventually too. And so, but a lot of times people are having gallbladder issues because of junk food in general. They're eating themselves into a stupor, and then they got to deal with it. So it's like, if they just dealt with it in the first place, they probably wouldn't have to really deal with it. What I mean by that is, like, if you just ate better in the beginning, probably wouldn't even have any issues with it. So, but I hope that I've explained a little bit about keto and carnivore and ketovore enough that it gets you to try it. If you're having any of the issues that I had, like I mentioned, give it a shot and see what happens. And also check out meatrx.com and check out Dr. Sean Baker. The dude's just like he's a really good human being. I respect him a lot anyway, because he's a military guy that he was a doctor and helping people out when, during different in the war and different battles and stuff like that. He's helping people out, not only our soldiers, but other people. He's just a good human being. And then he gets out and he had 2 practices, and, because he didn't want to lie to people. He wanted to tell them how to heal themselves. He had a lot of problems, with the medical establishment, because they want customers more than they want healthy people. If I remember a situation, in fact, my wife had talked to an insurance woman, and she's like, so you guys are both 40. She's like, so what are your medicines? And my wife told her, and then she's like, okay, what's your husband's medicines? And she's like, he doesn't have any problems. He doesn't take anything. She goes, he's got to be on one at least. What is it? What's the one? She goes, he literally doesn't take anything. She's like disgusted that I wasn't taking a pill, for something. And, that's how ridiculous the situation is that we're dealing with out there. But anyway, food is health. Food is that's the key component. Exercising is the next, as far as I'm concerned. That's how it goes. But and sleep, managing your stress, doing things like that is extremely important. So anyway, you all have a good day. Take care. I hope everything works out in your lives, and please give this diet a chance, and tell me how you feel.